Underdog Podcast. It's your host T. Lee and my co-host Jack Cowden will be live today as usual.
Was pulling up, they acting like they couldn't see me. Now she wanna clean me up like a squeegee. I told her that's on me, baby, like yellow BZ. With the peanut butter tear like a Reese.
He's gonna persevere through all the obstacles. Get it done. That's an underdog.
They don't forget the underdog when they see me. I hit them with the John Cena, they can't see me.
You may overlook this person, but the underdog is the one who's gonna put in the work.
It's over, you know? Because you have to lose to win. Whether you think losing is a big event.
Out of mind. All I'm saying, just be careful who you idolize. I'm kicking these scriptures just before the fame. Ain't no cap in my words, I go against the grain.
So I always believed in life. I took so many risks to make this thing happen, you know what I mean?
I'm always working, bro. Like I said, I'm energy driven.
Underdog can put you on your ass. The underdog can put you on game. The underdog can show you something that you didn't know.
Can't go down. All you can do is go up. So are you gonna stay where you at, or are you gonna move up?
Feel the bangs. Feel the bangs.
He said he's nervous. This is his first time doing it.
Cut her ass off, if she get that, I can reread.
Yo, what it do, good people? Welcome to the Underdogs Podcast. It's your host, Fleetwood JR. We back at it again. Another episode of the Underdog Chronicles. Today, we have a very special episode, The Living World, featuring Kingston's own by way of Atlanta, Georgia. We have a visual artist, body painter, set designer, muralist, and illustrator. We have Tiffany Davis in the building with us today.
Hi.
What's going on, Tiffany? How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing all right. You know, just glad to be here, you know, finally. Since I guess we crossed paths at the Future Dead Artist Gallery, which, you know, your work was amazing that day, you know. Definitely you know, an honor to have you on here, you know, to lay the red carpet out for you.
Thank you for having me.
Most definitely. So like I say, we appreciate you accepting the invitation to the Underdogs platform. And first and foremost, you know, as we push the importance of knowing ourselves, like, who is Tiffany A Davis as a person outside of what she do?
Well, I am a lot of things. I am a mom. I have 3 kids. A lot of people don't know that about me because, you know, I'm like an octopus. I got a lot going on. So, yeah. I am a chef. I mean, I cook at home now, but I don't cook outside, you know, anymore. But I do painting, of course, and the set design. And I have a lot of hobbies. So I am a full-time artist, though. So that's what I mainly do. Art and mom. Those are my 2 full-times.
Yeah, we got a real creative on, you know. Like she says, she got a lot of different talents, you know. That's what's up. And not to also mention, you know, you're a self-taught artist who specializes in mixed media portraits using oil and acrylic paint as well. So, all right, what are some things you learned, you know, last year that helped you prepare for 2023? And how is 2023 going for you thus far?
I would say last year taught me a lot of patience. It took me a while to readjust after COVID. And then after COVID, I lost my Instagram page and had to start all over. So it really taught me to just trust the process. And it took a lot of strength for me to just, you know, slowly come back. But I realized that sometimes you get set back for a reason. So I learned a lot of patience. And I see, like, you know, how that helped my artwork as well. Me slowing things down. Like, I see my artwork. It has more time to, like, you know, become if I slow things down a little bit. So I've just put that practice into everything I'm doing on a daily basis, to just slow down and practice patience.
Definitely. And how this year been treating you thus far?
Great. I feel like I'm in a good mental space. I feel like I'm in very good space. I'm just calm. I'm letting the art take me where it wants to go. I'm not overthinking as much as I normally do. So no complaints.
I feel that. So born in Kingston, Jamaica, but raised in Atlanta, Georgia, you know, like what was it like from, you know, your perspective, you know, coming up in Atlanta?
It was very different. I'd say that because, you know, most West Indian people, they go to New York or Florida.
Yeah.
Most people don't leave Jamaica and go to Atlanta. So it was weird for me. Like I feel like Atlanta wasn't as diverse when I came.
Yeah.
Um, and then especially like growing up in the hood, I grew up in the hood. So going to school in the hood is like you didn't see a whole lot of like others. Like,
Right.
and I felt like I didn't really fit in. I had an accent that I had to like learn how to hide because I didn't want to be different, you know.
Mhm.
But you know, kids kind of it was different. It was challenging.
Yeah.
But it taught me a lot.
Yeah, I feel that. It's like as soon as you said that, like coming up in certain environments, it's like you only see those type of people. Like, you know,
Right.
diversity for me didn't come until later. Like at the start of my life, I was a part of the integrating type thing. And it's like once I hit middle school and high school, it's just like I'm only seeing, you know, certain type of people, like my own people. So
Right.
um so being that your roots are in Jamaica, how often do you visit and what is the experience like for you each time? And what's something, you know, about being Jamaican that you value the most about the culture?
Well, I used to go a lot when I was younger with my dad. Well, now most of my family is kind of like half and half. A lot of my family are here now, and then there's still a lot in Jamaica. But I haven't gone in years. Like since my aunt passed, I normally would stay, you know, at her house. And since she passed, it's kind of like weird. I kind of don't even want to go for a while.
Yeah.
I plan on retiring and living there one day, but right now I'm just traveling to other places. I'll circle back when I feel like I can. But it's a lot of it reminds me of my grandparents, and they're no longer here, so it's like I don't want to deal with that right now.
Right.
Yeah,
Nah, I feel
so
that, you
but
know,
it
it
has taught
always
me a
be
lot.
most
And
definitely.
although I grew up here, is my parents are super Jamaican. It's kind of like they have a piece of Jamaica here in Atlanta because they do stuff super Jamaican still, like they still live there. So it was kind of like I was still there, but here.
Right.
If that makes sense. Like my dad had goats, he still had a clothesline. Like there, it's like he was still living in Jamaica. He had chickens, he still does. So it always kind of felt like I was still there, but in Atlanta at the same time. It was weird, but
Yeah.
yeah.
What's up though? You know, like, you know, speaking culture wise, like, you know, once you kind of like in tune with your identity, like who you are and stuff, like it don't matter where you go, it's always gonna follow you, you know.
That's right.
Um for those who may not have visited Atlanta, what are some of Tiffany's go-to spots to either hang out or just grab a bite to eat?
To be honest, I don't really hang out much. I don't really hang out much, and I don't go out to eat. I told you I'm a chef, so
Yeah.
I don't really go out to eat. And hanging out, like when I hang out, I go to art galleries.
Hmm.
Um, my partying days are over. Like
Nah, I
I
feel
won't
you on
say
that.
over, but I don't
Yeah.
really. I kind of stay
It's
home. I
like if
like to stay in my own.
you there
I
for a
play in
reason.
my own little world. I don't really leave my world often unless I need to,
Yeah, I
and I
feel
like
that.
that.
I feel that. Nah, that's big because you know how you say, you know, the party days and stuff. It's like if I'm somewhere, I'm there for a reason. I'm not just being there just to be there. Like
Because I'm bored. I don't get bored. I have plenty of stuff to do.
real talk. I'm telling you.
And I rather make money than spend it. That's just me. So
Hey,
you can find me here.
that's what's up. Nah, for real. So take me back to the beginning. Like, when was that first time that you remember realizing that you were a creative person?
Um, I mean, now thinking back, I feel like I always was creative ever since I was a kid. And I realized I got it from my dad because my dad builds things and he'd always be outside. And now it makes sense. Plus, I mean, when I was younger, my mom, like, she would let me have some toys, but not really. She liked me to read and like study a lot. And if it wasn't educational, I wasn't really, if she was around, it wasn't allowed. So
Yeah.
that sparked my creativity because I created my toys. I created my games. I created things So she couldn't really stop me if I created something because I didn't ask her for anything. So that's how I realized. I used to make books. I draw like pictures and create books, stories about kids. Like looking back now, I was like, okay, I think I was always an artist. I just wasn't allowed to like really explore that area till I got
Nah,
older.
that's big. For real. Like it's always the foundation, of everything. So when you sit back and like think about your foundation to today's time, it's like you came a long way. Um, so growing up, you had the underdog mentality of taking something you love to do as a hobby and turning it into a career. Although it wasn't as much support early on, like what was the drive like for you at that time?
Well, it was really hard because I stopped going to college when I realized, like, okay, I'm really wasting my time. Like, I'm doing this because my mom wants me to do it, and this is what I was raised to do. I was supposed to be a doctor. But when I got older, I started to realize, like, I really don't want to do this. I think I just don't want to disappoint my mom because she's been, kind of pushing this on me since I was 5 years old. I've been saying I
Yeah.
want to be a doctor. Deep down, if I knew, like, being an artist was even an option, that's something I would have said instead, but it wasn't an option, not in my household. So when I got older and I was able to move away from my parents, that's when I started getting more into like art and painting because now I could explore without them saying like, that's not a job or whatever. So it was very hard in the beginning. I didn't have the support. I kind of feel like I was a letdown by not pursuing that path anymore to become a doctor or whatever. I felt, like here's the golden child, and now she wants to be an artist. Like, what is that? It was hard. Like I had no support in the beginning,
Yeah,
and then
I
trying to
know that.
learn, I didn't even know how to paint,
Yeah,
so it was really
self-taught.
hard.
That's
But it
that's
lit my
big.
fire. It lit my fire. I had to prove. I feel like I had something to prove because they were like, you're a 4.0 student. Why would you want to just stop and blah blah blah? Like I had like 2 semesters of school left. I don't even care. Nobody was gonna make me do that anymore. So I felt like for my parents to accept it, I had to become really really good at what I said I was gonna do. So in like a year or two, I start really like going in trying to paint. I painted every single day, practice, practice, practice. So just so they could put some respect, so they could be like, okay, she maybe we see where she's going with this. That's what
Hmm.
made me go so hard. I had to prove them wrong.
For real, that's
And now
real
they're my
passion.
biggest fans.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in a sense too, like when it comes to, a lot of our parents and stuff too, it's like they don't know no other way but this way. So it's like when you're speaking foreign, if you saying, oh, I want to do music, I want to do like they haven't experienced this, so they're fear of, I don't know if you're gonna be successful in this, because I don't even see that. I'm not used to seeing that happen, you know. So it's
And
like,
I totally get that now that I'm older. I
mhm,
realize why they did what they did, but
yeah.
I just take in account of that, and that's why I really like it inspires me even more to continue because I want my kids to feel like, hey, I really can be whatever I want. My daughter told me she wants to be a YouTuber. I'm like, you
Hmm.
are allowed to, if you can dream it, you really can do it. Like I don't want
Yeah.
to teach them limitations.
Yeah.
So in a sense, I'm breaking that cycle now by letting them explore. You can decide because if you're passionate about it, everything else will follow.
Yeah. That passion too come with, I try to push like, it's normal as humans for a lot of people to think like overnight success, like you want it that bad to happen. But it's like sometimes you gotta forget like the end result and then enjoy the now of
Right.
you get there. Like everything else will fall in place, but you gotta really focus
Exactly.
building your craft, and people be so focused on I want $1 million tomorrow night. Like, man,
You
like you
gotta
you
love the
want $1
craft
million,
more than you
you
love the
feel me?
money.
Yeah, like everything else is gonna be organically there for you. It's like you just gotta focus, work hard, and just be consistent, and really love it. Like for
Absolutely.
real. So all right, when did you know like that this is what you wanted to do with your life? Like how did you get started? Like what was the foundation like when you started painting?
Well, I knew that this is what I wanted to do when I had a neighbor wanted a painting, one of my friends wanted a painting, and when they wanted more paintings after that, I was like, man, I might be on to something.
Yeah.
Like, they're willing to pay for this again. It's like, so, you know, that really, and then after I started doing more, it was more people and more people and more, and it just, and then my paintings got better. So it was kind of like I was practicing and making money at the same time, just from, you know, word of mouth. So I was like, okay, I think I can do this. And I knew what my goal was. I wasn't sure how to get there. So I just figured I'll just keep practicing until I figure out, and I'll just, you know, enjoy the journey.
Yeah, that's big. So who or what inspires your creative urges?
Children. I say children because children are not afraid to like daydream and imagine. I feel like adults kind of like block out certain things. Like they just kind of give up and like, it's too late. But kids, a kid will tell you they feel like they can fly. And I like that, because it's like, when I think about art, it's just like, there's no limitations. You can dream, you can create whatever you want. And that's what inspires my art the most. Children. And I want to show children that you can be an artist. You can be whatever you want to be. You can make whatever life you want.
Nah, for real, because I feel like society wants to push them in just what society views, you know, where go to school, do this and all that. This is where happiness comes from. Like, nah, you know, I've had art teachers in school that's, you know, like when you enter that spectrum, like you said, of art or any creativity, is endless. Like, you know, you can go anywhere with it, however you feel, wherever you think. Like, there's no limitation. Like, you can't do this. That's not right. This not right. Like, you know, I could obviously say like that was one of the subjects I remember in school. Like, was where you can just go anywhere with it. There's no right or wrong answer. But you get in math, it's only one way to get it. You might could do it other way. It's only one answer. But it's like art is just like, you know,
there's no
everybody.
boundaries.
Yeah. That's where you really feel free at the most. Like, where you can just think for yourself and just, you know. So who would you say is the most creative person that you have ever known?
I probably have to say my dad.
Yeah.
I'd have to say my dad, because I think the things that I've seen him like build and come up with and just create like on the fly, like no training. I admire that. And I think that another part of me really wanted to be an artist because I admired that about him. Like the fact that he could build things. It just seemed crazy to me. So yeah, I would have to say my dad.
Yeah, that, you know, to make nothing from something, you know, take something and to make it into something, like you said, is that thought. It starts with the mind first.
Like, how do you do that? Yeah. That's why I believe everybody doesn't have to go to college or school, because everybody's brain works different. Yeah. My brother, prime example. My brother's brain is like my dad. Like, I'll watch him put together furniture and he doesn't read instructions. He just looks at the picture once or twice, puts it together. And that just shows me how everybody's mind works, because other people have to read instructions. Yeah. Everyone's not the same.
Yeah, nah, I'm definitely gonna read some instructions depending on what it is.
And I don't read instructions either. I just feel like reading instructions is more confusing to me. Just show me the picture.
Yeah. So do you believe that each person has the capacity to be creative? Or just in a certain spectrum of individuals, you feel?
I'm not sure. I feel like it's so easy for me, so I can't really say how it is for someone else, because I have some friends that can't, like, I'll see an unfinished house and in my head it looks like a mansion already. I can see the future of it, like I see the potential, and then someone else might be like, ugh, like, why would you, what is that?
Yeah, our
eyes are just different. So I don't know how some people's brain work. Some people look at me like, how can you imagine? I'm like, how can you not imagine something like this? Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe not. Some people won't allow themselves to. That's why I said children are easier. Like, I feel like all children can be creative, but as some children grow up and become adults, it's like that part of them kind of like dies, or they shut it off in some way, because they change as they get older. Not everyone, but some people. And they can't
Yeah.
dream like and create like they would as a kid.
Yeah. I feel like some people kind of bury that inner child, like, you know, as they get older, like
Trauma.
they don't enjoy the things that they did as kids, or it's like, all right, now I'm older now, like I'm too old to be doing this or whatever,
That's
stuff
probably
like
why
that.
art can be considered therapy too,
Yeah.
because it's a lot of, that trauma is not allowing them to get into their creative space. But then when you try to get into that creative space, that might be therapeutic for you to allow those emotions to come out. So can
Right.
everybody be a creative? Yeah, but it's going to take some people more steps than others.
Yeah, I feel that. So speaking of you being an artist, you know, like how do you define art in your words from your perspective?
I feel like art is created with emotion, with some type of emotion, whether you're happy, sad, you got, things going on in your mind, but you have to have some type of emotion. And it doesn't look a certain way in my definition. It's just created with your emotions.
Yeah, I feel that, you know, and then it's like you said, it's emotions, and then people that, you know, consume the art or come visualize it, they're gonna have their own perspective, like of how they feel towards it or what they see. Um, so how and when did you come to feel that, you know, you're successful in what you do as an artist?
Um, it's still a little of a battle. It still seems a little unreal. Like, okay, people like my art for real. Like, especially when someone tells me like you're my favorite artist, I'm like, what? Like, it's like, huh? Because I feel like I was just in that place telling other artists that, and now people are telling me, and that's what made me realize, like, oh, am I now doing what? Am I that person now? Because I was once those people, like, oh my God, you inspire me. Can you? And then now people are asking me. So that's what made me realize. Other than that, I'm just in my own world. I'm just practicing. Everything to me is still practice. I am nowhere near where I need to be mentally. Like, I think like with my art, I'm still
Yeah.
learning.
Yeah, nah, like I was mentioning at the Future Day Artist Gallery, like for me to be a complete, like, just in the audience there, never seen your work, never seen them before, but to see it in person, I was like, oh, this is pretty dope. Then the detailing and everything, like I'm a big fan of art as well. I just do music, so it's like art. I look at art, it's speaking to me like how music would, you know, if I was to hear it. So it's just like um just the way I can kind of visualize the story. I'm looking at it from a creator's perspective of like, all right, why is this like this? So I'm sitting there trying to put it together, you know, at the same time. But it's just like enjoying the art too. It's like all that going on at one time in my head. Like it's more of a not more like, all right, that looks nice. Like, nah, I'm really trying to see like what made this artist do this, or why does it look like that? Like, you know, that's the enjoying part of it for me, you know. So when embarking upon a project, like, do you pre-plan your entire project, or do you simply just follow, like, you know, how you feel or where your inspiration take you?
I most of the time don't plan anything. I just go with the flow. Sometimes I try planning, but it doesn't go that way. And some days I'm painting 5 things at once. So I'm very go with the flow type of person. I let my emotions take the wheel. If I'm happy today, I come in here and I pick a happy painting off the wall. Okay, I'll finish this one today. And if I'm in a sad, like I might pick up something that's more like, I was in that same mood the last time I painted it. Let me continue with that feeling. So like I let my mood decide.
That was so what do you think keeps your imagination from like conforming to mainstream society and like as like, you know, going by the rules and structure of what society says is art or creative? Like, how do you not let that, you know, come in between when you're creating?
Well, that's easy. That's why I stay in my bubble.
Yeah.
I literally live in my studio. I have one window that faces the backyard. You can't even see the neighbors. You just see trees. So I've created a space for myself, and I don't really watch TV. I don't really talk on the phone. I'm on social media for work purposes, not for
Yeah.
personal. I don't care about social media that much. So it's like I keep myself isolated. It keeps my thoughts pure. Because when I am on social media, I see all the crazy. I'm not interested.
Right.
The
Yeah.
world is getting real. It was already
Yeah.
crazy before, but it's getting extra
Yeah.
crazy. And
It's getting
I just don't want a lot of that stuff affecting how I think or what my desires are. So I kind of taken myself off grid as much as possible. So that's why I don't go out unless it's like networking or something. I don't really.
yeah. That's
I
why this
created
makes
my
this
environment.
That's why this makes this a very special episode. Cause just hearing how, like, you know, what we going with is like everything has to play its purpose if Tiffany is gonna involve her energy in it, you know,
This
because
is
right now
Tiffany's
she's
world.
in a
You need a
space.
ticket
Yeah,
to get in here.
yeah, you know, you need admission, definitely. Uh, but nah, I hope this is very therapeutic for you because I just wanna, you know, get your foundation, you know, lay the red carpet out for you, give you your flowers, cause you definitely doing amazing work, you know.
Thank you.
Um, so who has helped you persevere and not quit? You know, just not give up. If any type of obstacles or anything you endure, you know, what just keeps you going?
Um, I mean, I feel like that's easy. Number one, my kids. I have to take care of my kids. And number two,
Mhm.
like this is something I want. So and if I just feel like if I want something, I'm going to do it. Like there is no other choice. This is what I've chosen, so I have to make this work.
Most definitely. So
And it's my therapy, so I need it.
yeah, for real. I think creative people in the whole like it's definitely therapeutic for like I guess it's like a kind of like a mind, like your diary from your mind, but
It
actually either
definitely
putting
is
in
my
music
diary.
or art or whatever. Like you
Mhm.
just able to stamp that time frame, you know. So when you might pick up a
Definitely.
piece of art that you had, you was like, I remember exactly what I was feeling. I remember that day. I remember the exact
It's
moment.
good
Why I
and
did
bad
it.
though when I do that because it's like I
Yeah,
get too attached to you don't want to sell them because it's
yeah,
like a journal entry. Because if you notice, I paint a lot of self portraits because
yeah.
I'm
Same.
very emotional. I like to capture how I was feeling in a moment. And oh my God, like it's hard to sell those paintings, but it is very like it is cool to go back and seeing that painting takes you back to that exact moment of me painting it and how I felt and just it's therapeutic.
Yeah, most definitely. Um, so what has been your greatest sacrifice that you made for your art?
Having time. I feel like I have to work 3 times as hard sometimes to show up online or just, to be consistent with my art or to even have a show because having 3 kids, 1 kid is hard. Having three, it's really, really hard. And then trying to be cute or trying to just, be present. It's like a constant like juggling act. It's hard. So, and I think, you know, people don't realize like how much of a sacrifice it is when you want to be a full-time artist. Like it looks cool online. It's
Yeah,
not always like that. It's a lot of grinding. These reels make you look like you took 30 seconds to paint, but it might have took 30 hours. And
yeah,
sometimes I don't sleep and then I got to wake up and pack lunch and take kids to school and then come back in here and I got to make a reel and then get back to painting and then I got to ship something and then go to a film studio. It's just a lot. It's craziness. But I do it and I'm just happy that I have the option to do it. So
most definitely. One thing I didn't miss was, hey, it take a lot of work. You have to be serious about this, you know. Like, you know, anything. It don't matter if it's art, anything somebody do, your investment of your time and your investment in, like to ensure that you practicing and everything. Cause it's like everybody has the $1 million dream, but it's just like you have to work for it. Like
do you
it's
want to do the work though?
yeah, everybody, you know, it's like if you find a cheat way around it or whatever process, when you're in the middle of the process and you try to find a cheat code around it, it's like, all right, you got around that, but then somehow you end up going right back to what you skipped over, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's what they say, you gotta do it the right way the first time, you know.
Yep. Absolutely.
What words of inspiration were given to you that you would like to pass along to others?
To other artists,
Yeah, anybody
I
that's,
would
you know.
I would say to do what you like, paint what you like, because you need to make yourself happy and not worry about other people, because you will never please everyone else. And people are always going to give you advice and tell you, oh, you should paint this or you need to paint that. You can't listen to them because unless they're going to buy it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no, you need to just paint what you want and just keep doing that, and the people will find you. So
Yeah.
that's my best advice, because that was something I had to learn. Now I don't care about followers. I don't care about views. I'm going to paint what I want and I don't care. That's the best advice I can give.
Yeah, for them to stick with their vision, stay with your vision, you know, most definitely.
Your tribe will find you.
That's true. What are some lessons you learned transitioning into a full-time artist before you reach that marker?
That it is very, very, very hard, because it takes a long time to create these paintings and you're only one person. So that was one thing that I had to learn. You don't need 50 customers. It's only one of you. So balancing your time management, just, like trying to get customers, everything was a learning lesson. Like coming from like a regular, having a 9-to-5 job to it being an entrepreneur, it's really hard. You really are only going to get in as much as you put in, though. And that's what people have to realize. Like if you're going to work 16 hours, you're going to see that in your business. You're going to see how that affects your business. If you're only putting in 4 hours, you're going to see how that affects your business. So it's definitely taught me that, some nights you're going to go to sleep real late and you're going to wake up really early, but you're going to see that in your business. So
yeah, I feel that, the person put 4 hours in it and then they turn around and start beating themselves up for 4 hours.
Now I didn't make any money. You didn't do no work.
Yeah, for real. You'd be like, you too
and
hard.
And then another thing I learned, it's not just about painting.
Yeah.
You have to be a photographer when you're an artist. You have to be, you got to be you got to package your stuff up. You have to be good at marketing. You need to be like a videographer. There's so many things you have to be good at to be a full-time artist. When you're selling your own stuff and doing all that, you can't just be out here painting. That's not enough anymore. You have to do a million things by yourself.
Yeah, I feel that, because it's like
I'm
you are
building websites. It's a lot. Customer service, you emailing, it's a lot. But once you learn, you get the hang of it, it becomes easier.
Yeah, because
you're gonna wear a lot of hats.
Because Tiffany A Davis is a brand, so
Definitely.
At this point, you just gotta, everything that you do represents your brand. Who you are. Definitely. When working on a new project, would you say that the space that you in right now is where you feel the most creative in your bubble?
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So what do you do to get into your creative zone?
I play music. I dance. I start to create that energy. I start with a good energy, because I like to be happy. I like to feel free. I put the music on. I put the music on shuffle. Let's go. Mm-hmm. And then, I might dance in here for a whole hour and paint for 30 minutes. But I'll get so much done in that 30 minutes though.
Yeah.
Because it's like I've charged myself up. I've gotten ready. I mean, the juices are flowing. I'm in the creative space, and I go over there and I'm like an art genius, like slashing paint, just splashing everything. And it works. So most of the time, that's what I do.
Now I get the feel like how they used to show it on TV, where they just going in there and just going on the canvas
that's
like
why I
that.
said emotions.
Yeah.
When you're in the right emotions, it just kind of it it takes you along for the ride.
That's what's
And
up.
then I have artwork where I have to sit in silence and be quiet and really focus and paint. So it just depends on what type of art I'm doing.
That what's up. So I got another one for you. So if your creative work had an odor, what do you think they would smell like and why?
Can you repeat that question?
If your creative work had an odor to it, what do you
Mm-hmm.
think they would smell like and why? Like
I would
if
say,
like if you had a person that they couldn't see, or probably say a blind person, but they got another sense, and it was
mm-hmm.
like your work had an odor to it, what would they smell?
I would say it smells like a garden.
Mm.
I feel like I'm very like, I'm outside a lot. I feel like I'm a nature person. You'll smell like flowers. You just, I don't know. Just thinking about my art, you feel the sun like on your skin. Like that's how I imagine it. You
That's
might
what's
hear the
up.
waves crashing. You smell the salt water from the ocean.
Hmm.
That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah. Nah, most definitely. I get them vibes just from seeing your work. Actually, let me pull up the website as well, just so you can get a feel, let the people see what's going on.
A lot of nature,
Yeah, a lot
nature
of
and
nature.
feelings.
So while we viewing these as well, which one would you say would be your greatest work to this day? Like one of your most prized possessions, like if you sold it or not, it was like very difficult for you to be like, I couldn't let this one go.
Okay, let me see. I would probably have to say um the one that's in the water with the face coming out of the water. That one means a
Right
lot.
here?
No, the
A murder.
next to it.
Oh, okay.
No, not that one. That blue one.
Yup.
I'd say that one is the most special to me because that's when I was coming out of a dark time. I think it was hard for me to get back into my norm, like painting and back on social media since all that stuff happened on my page and just all kind of craziness. I
Yeah.
just felt like that was me, not worried about what's behind me. I'm just gonna focus on the sun. I'm gonna focus on what's in front of me. I'm not gonna be feared by anything that's behind me. So like that was very important to me. Cause when I see that, it reminds me of like I'm just gonna look forward. So I need that.
Yeah, that's dope. Like how much time did you put in doing this one? You can remember that day? Like, did it
Yeah,
take
I
a couple
painted this
days or
2 days. It's
oh
actually huge too. I painted in 2 days right when I came back from Mexico. I took this picture while I was in Mexico. I already was like mentally painting it in my head when I was taking the
mm,
reference picture. And as soon as I got back here, I started painting like a mad person. And I was done like the next day. By the end of the next day, I was done. And I was like, wow, I couldn't believe I did that because I normally don't paint that big at all. That's probably the largest painting I did for then, besides
it's
a
just
mural, like the largest
detail.
canvas painting that I've done. So I was just in that, like I felt that emotion, like I'm not gonna let anything or anyone stop me from what I need to accomplish. I'm looking ahead. So that's why the sharks are no. I'm not worried about the sharks though. They can be
Hmm.
back there. I'm not worried about that because my faith is I'm gonna be fine. I'm just gonna keep looking ahead. So that's my
Nah,
most
that's
meaningful
dope.
piece. I'd be sad if I sold it, but I'm trying to teach myself that I'm an artist. It is my job to let go of those pieces. So I'm working on it.
Right.
I'm working
Now
on
y'all
it.
make sure y'all head to tiffanyadavis.com as well and check out the products, support. Most definitely. Um, so if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
It would definitely be an island. Has to be an island. I have to have the ocean.
Hmm.
I mean, of course, I'm gonna say if I had the money to live the life I would want to live back in Jamaica, that would be my first choice.
Yeah.
But as long as it's an island, I'll still be happy. I like to be off the grid.
Yeah. Nah, I can sense that, that's definitely,
Yeah.
because it's like, how society is right now, like a lot of kind of what we getting back to is nature, in a sense. Like you can't, like nature is always gonna have its way. Like you can't stop nature. Like when it comes to the heat, the weather, or just grinding yourself outside, or just, a lot of stuff that we eat, is just nature. Like supposed to be nature.
Yeah,
But
but I mean, things are getting a little crazy here. That's why I'm like, I don't even want
yeah,
to nature here. Take me out. Take me out of
yeah,
here. Take me out of
yeah,
here.
it's getting
Organic
weird.
is not organic. Get me out of here. I just want to grow my
No,
own plants.
man. It's like you gotta pick up like produce now and look at numbers on it to make sure you're getting like it's crazy. Or it costs more to eat better too, in a
Yeah.
sense.
Why is water $4 a bottle and soda is like $2?
Man.
That's why I said I rather just live somewhere else. Like I rather grow up the way my parents had me grow up,
Yeah, yeah.
picking vegetables out of the garden, hanging my clothes on a clothesline. It teaches you so many things and appreciation for just everything and gratitude. The way everything is now, it makes you like kind of feel spoiled, entitled. Like I
Mm-hmm.
want this and I want it now. That's not how things work. Like sometimes you have to slow down. And America makes you want to go like fast and you don't have enough. You're
Yeah.
never happy. You're never going to be satisfied. That's why I want to be out of, out away from this mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Is toxic to feel like you
Yeah.
always need something and you're not. Why are you not happy with everything you have right now?
Man, you just
So
dropped the gym.
that's why I stay to myself because I'm happy with everything I have. And then I go outside and people are not happy because they want this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, I was happy until I came outside. I'm
Right.
going back in. I'm going back in here. I
I
was just
feel
fine
it.
when I was in here. I don't want to hear this.
Hmm. And then it's crazy when you start getting a little bit more information about all this. It's like America's like it's business. It's so much business
Of
involved where it's
course.
like overseas it's like they're not putting, these chemicals and all that in the foods, or it's
There's
different. Even when it comes
things
to the kids.
banned
Like,
here. Not here. There's things banned in other countries that they give us here. Like, why?
mhm.
How? Because it's all about money.
Yeah.
It's
And
all
then it's
about
like
money.
when you hear how the kids eat overseas at some of them schools, like they give them actual nutrition. Like here it's like, I don't
Yep.
know, crazy.
It is crazy.
So what is your creative goal and how attainable do you think it is?
So I really would like to travel and paint. Um, I kind of started, and I would like to do that more. I love traveling and seeing different places around the world, and I would like to continue doing that. I want to go farther and farther every year, go to farther places and paint my experiences, paint some landscapes, maybe paint some people I'm inspired by, paint myself doing random, I don't know. But I also want to write children's books, and it would also be about traveling. I would like to be the face that I didn't get to see growing up, and I want to inspire children to travel and not just, live in a little box. Go and see the
Yeah,
world, dream big. I want to inspire kids. So, traveling and inspiring kids, that's what I'll be doing.
that's real. Um, Definitely. If you release a book, I definitely support, as
It's
well.
definitely
Like,
coming.
yeah,
I'm working on it right now.
yeah, I'm big on that, because I got three kids as well. So, I'm dealing with a 5-year old and a newborn. So it's like I'm molding and shaping the world for them right now. So I'm looking at all the stuff I didn't like. The stuff I didn't like, a lot of people go around and say what they don't like about this or that, and what other corporations or big businesses should be doing. But it's just like, really, if what you don't like, you can change yourself in ways. Like, and that's how I feel like with this platform we're doing right now. Like, I don't like the narrative that's being pushed by a lot of these social media outlets or whatever. Like, I don't really see too many outlets where it's just like, hey, let me pat, somebody on the back or congratulate somebody, give them their flowers, because they actually out here making an impact, whether if they known, not known, or on the come up being heard about, So you know, every people need that outlet, you know, for people to hear these experiences and stuff like that. Like you say, social media is just, you can see a 30-second reel or whatever, but you don't know everything that happened before that, you know, like you don't know the progress of the process, you know. So I definitely feel like, you know, the inspiration is there, you know, for people to be like, oh, I was once at that point in time they was in, they might have been there and been feel like giving up or whatever, but then when they hear your story, it's like, oh,
Right.
they actually made it through that, you know, whatever, you
Right.
know, something that keep them, catapult them high, keep them going, you know. So most definitely. But so with your accolades, you know, you've been a part of one of the most well-known attractions in Atlanta, the Trap Museum, and your work has been featured there, as well as like how did it feel to have your, you know, your work on the front line showcase, you know, as well as the Future Dead Artist Gallery?
It was great. I feel like the Trap Museum, I remember when I first went there, I didn't even get to make it inside because the line was so long. It was like going to the club. Like, and I just remember saying, like, I'm not about to get in this line, but
Yeah.
whatever this is, like whatever type of music, I have to put my art in here because if it's this type of line, why is my stuff not in here? So I made that a goal. And the first time I actually did go in there, I was bringing my work in there. I was bringing my work with me too, because I had already had in mind, like, I have to get something in here. So that was a huge moment for me. So I don't know. I'm slowly coming out of it a little bit, like not as shy, because people do need to see my work. It does feel good. I feel proud that I made a goal. I set a goal for myself and I did accomplish it. And now there's 4 pieces in the Trap Museum. So I'm really proud of that. So.
Most definitely, you know, you out here breaking them barriers, you feel me? You know what I mean? Because sometimes I be like that too when I get in my space. And that may be because, you know, I might have a million other things going on, you feel me? So sometimes I do need to take a break and kind of like focus on using my craft as my outlet, or just being in my bubble, you know. But then it's like, I do be extroverted too, because I be, you know, this is really this platform too helping me. You know, I'm meeting a lot of people on different walks of life, you know, or bringing people together in a sense. So probably over like 100 people maybe been on this platform. I gotta really count, but yeah, it's just, you know, it feel good. Like I'm building a passion for that, you know, to have this conversation, to sit down with people. You know, it started as an idea like a year ago, and we've been consistent like over a year. So yeah, I feel like that's one of the things too I built now. That's a passion to like make sure I get people story out there. You know, these are $1 million stories, you know, and you never know where people are gonna go with it, you know. So most definitely. So like, what are some of your most memorable moments in your career thus far?
You're right. Because I've been no left field to me, and that was like, that has been exciting because I've met so many people that I grew up watching on TV. So that was cool to me. I never expected to end up in the film world. So that was exciting. And like even painting and meeting people that I'm fans of, like meeting certain celebrities, that was exciting to me. Watching myself just level up, like some of the artwork that I'm painted now is just like, you really painted that. Like I remember my first painting and it was awful. I hate it. So like, I don't know, like I've just been enjoying everything, to be honest, everything about it. Even the hard stuff, I appreciate it.
Nah, that's just all in the passion, you know. Somebody that really loves, that's, you know, really loving what you do, you know. Like, definitely, you're gonna take the good and the ups and downs. It's a roller coaster, you know. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be like, you know, it's well worth the time invested, everything, you know.
It is. When things go wrong, it teaches you how to troubleshoot.
Yeah, for real, for real.
Things have to go wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, you know, if it's just a part of the process, you know, like if it's like, you know, if I can either catch it early on, like yeah, stuff go wrong, you know. So if I'm able to maneuver at the same time, like not just not pay attention, not pay attention to it, have an ego, and then now all of a sudden I done buried myself so further into it, you know. It's just like
Mhm.
I gotta appreciate, you know, and everything. Like you said, it's a sense of cooking something in the pot, you know, on low, and just let
Mhm.
it mold into what you want it to be, you know.
Exactly.
Like I'm okay. Like I'm not trying to go in the kitchen. Like I'm just learning how to cook, and I got everything set on high, and now I'm burning the house down. Like no,
Burning it down
like,
because you hungry. You can't wait. Let it slow
for
cook. It's
real.
gonna fall off the bones.
Yeah, for real. So, any upcoming events or new projects you would like to show?
um. So right now I'm just painting a few paintings. So my last trip was to Panama, so I'm just painting some um landscapes and some other paintings from that experience right now. But no, I have nothing planned so far. I'm getting ready to apply to some shows coming up, but right now I'm just working on paintings and building collections.
That's
I would
what's
love
up.
to have my solo show probably next year, but I'm just working until then.
Oh yeah, that solo show definitely happening. If Tiffany says it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
It's definitely going to happen, but Tiffany
Most
has to
definitely.
be ready.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel like you're gonna get that anyway. Um, so like any shout outs or recognition you would like to give to those who've been in your corner supporting you along this journey.
Everyone that supports me, I would like to shout out everyone that supports me because I wouldn't be here without people that truly believe in my talent. And you know, I appreciate everything every because I had no support, so everything was appreciated. My family, I've met a lot of artists along the way that have been very helpful. I have some mentors, and I'm very very grateful to have them because it's really hard to figure out everything on your own and to do without
Yeah,
support. It's very hard.
most definitely. I feel that, you know, as you keep saying it, I'm like, I'm just thinking about my own situations of, you know, when you don't have too many people supporting, but it's like, um, I kind of appreciate it in a sense too, because it helped me learn a lot of rather than somebody just giving it to me, you know. So it's
Mhm.
like I appreciate the process way more, you know. But most definitely, Tiffany, it was like I said, it was an honor to have you on the platform. You know, I feel like this was like a one on one. You know, like I don't feel like this happened too often, and I'm glad I got this exclusive. You know, just to get your time on here,
Yeah,
and
it's a little hard to catch me.
yeah, yeah. That's why I say, you
Thank
know,
you.
hey, we're gonna make it happen. But keep doing what you're doing, though, Tiffany. Say the art is amazing. You know, just to hear the passion behind what you do. You know, it's just like you know, it's gonna be definitely bigger things. You know, Tiffany A Davis is gonna be, you know, the artist to remember, you know, for years to come, generationally. So just keep, you know, creating, you know, just I ain't too much to say because I already know, like, just from hearing your stories, it's like I'm going, you know, I'm going here, I'm going there, and you know, I'm going straight to the top. You know, it's infinity with the word. So it was an honor to hear your story. And last but not least, before we get you out of here, you know, what does being an underdog mean to you, or when you hear the word underdog?
When I hear the word underdog, it really makes me think about this one specific painting that I did a long time ago. And I'm just going to tell you about it real quick. So, like I said, when I started becoming an artist, I felt like I was kind of like, tossed to the side, like whatever. I think about that as someone throwing away a seed, just throwing it away, but they didn't know you were going to become this beautiful plant. That's an underdog to me. They can dismiss you, they can overlook you, throw you away, but they don't know that you're this beautiful thing that's being planted. That's what an underdog is. No one can tell you what you're going to become. You just become that. You let them water you with all the negative whatever. You're just going to bloom and become what you're going to become. That's what I think about underdog. They tried to bury us, but really we were a seed.
That's real. Hey, we working on the season 5 intro anyway. That's gonna be definitely on there. You know, we appreciate that.
Tried
Most
to bury
definitely.
you. You were a seed.
I like that. That's a good one for real. But yeah, Tiffany, like I say, you know, we had Tiffany A Davis on here. Make sure y'all follow on Instagram at Tiffany Art Vibes. Make sure y'all check out the website, Tiffany A Davis. But this was the Underdog Chronicles, the Living World. Like I say, featuring Kingston's on by way of Atlanta. Visual artist, body painter, set designer, muralist, and illustrator. She wears many hats, you know, most definitely. But appreciate you, Tiffany. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Most definitely. Thank you.
Gold mouth rabbit on my teeth, I got carrots. Open up her mouth and she got vocals sound like Janet. Marble on the floors, but the kitchen kinda granted. Lean color perk, you would think it's pomegranate. I see flying saucers finna roll another planet. It will fall in place if it's meant to be organic. I got crazy lingo, you would think I'm speaking Spanish. I'm something like a pie, never leave without the cannon. I'm enlightened. I got stones around my neck. If you pay attention, I teach her how to earn respect. I walk around with a tag like I'm mad at the rail. People do any damn thing for a check. So what if you got signed labels, throw them on the shelf? I don't ask for help, I just go within myself. Hard times I prevail, I bust up out my shell. I let my nuts hang, cause it don't got no curfew. Gold mouth rabbit on my teeth, I got carrots. Open up her mouth and she got vocals sound like Janet.